Back when things were, not 2020, I hosted a radio show. But I think you already knew that because you probably read the title. But yeah, I hosted a radio show, and today I will be talking about that show as it was pretty interesting. Let's start with how I got into it. I was just going through my day when I saw a flyer on a pole. Want to film something? Anyways, a person came up while I was looking at it and said, "Hey, you interested?" I then responded by saying, sure. Now, was I interested in filming? Not really. But it seemed like they also did other things that weren't filming. Anyways, they said, yeah, meet us at this place at this time. And obviously, I went. And so far, this may seem pretty off topic. And let me tell you, it is, sorta. But it gets interesting. So I go to this event, and the person who asked me if I was interested was there on the stage. They start explaining to everyone, but instead of it being filming related like you'd expect, it was, "Yo, we do radio. Wanna have a show?" Now, obviously, a few people were pretty confused. But then they explained that they also do filming and other stuff like that. So, fast forward a few days, and they send me an email saying, "Hey, what time would you like your show?" I then tell them the time that I would like my show, and they confirm that I can do it. Now, something important I must mention before we get too far into the video is that I had a partner. That will come in more later. My first show, I am there early, so they teach me how to use the equipment. This button turns on the mic, this slider raises and lowers the volume of the microphone, stuff like that. My partner arrives and I tell him how to work all the equipment, and we start the show, and it's great. We already had a music list, which was a little hard to make, and all goes well. Did I ever mention that it's a music radio show? Well, it's a music radio show. First show was fine, same with the next three. Essentially, nothing goes wrong and everything is fine. So, to be a part of this group, since radio isn't actually the main thing they do, you have to get trained to do something like film or edit, stuff like that. You could work the cameras, make sure the computers are working, be a janitor, etc. You'd think that I'd do editing considering the videos I make on YouTube. Just gonna say, that last video games video took 5 hours to edit. But anyways, you'd think that I'd do editing, right? Well, turns out they had no slots available for that. So I said, okay, I guess I'll do filming. Their training was just as lackluster as the training for the radio. I mean, look at all those buttons. And they only taught me like 3 of them. But anyways, they essentially tell me this button starts recording, this button stops recording, this slider zooms. That's all they told me. Soon enough, they're calling me to record a football game. Now, if you know me, you maybe know that I'm not that interested in sports. I just don't really like them. But I can stand watching a football game that's like a few hours. I get there early with the camera and the other stuff, position it, stuff like that. I start recording the warm-ups the people on the field are doing, and the game starts. Now let's fast forward a couple of hours where the score is all tied up, and they go into overtime. I was already tired because it was meant to end a while ago, but they kept going. Then they go into double overtime, then triple overtime, then quadruple overtime, and finally, someone wins the game. It was meant to be like 1 hour 45 minutes, but it took like 3 hours. Since then, I never really got told to film another event. It was either because I did really bad at filming, or that they just chose that I filmed for so long that I didn't really want to do it anymore. Either way, I'm fine with it. I mean, I wasn't in the group for filming anyways. Let's go back to radio now because that is just way more fun. My first story from the radio booth is from our Christmas special, which we do like 5 days before Christmas. It's essentially just playing random Christmas music instead of our pre-picked music. So mid-show, I told my partner, "Hey, I gotta go to the bathroom. Just play the song while I'm gone." They nodded and started the song, and I leave the room. I come back 2 minutes later to hear my partner talking to the mic, which is what we do when there is no song. I sit down and start a song, and we start talking. So I said, "That song was really that short?" My partner said, "No, but it was inappropriate." "How so?" It said something about eggnog." "How is eggnog inappropriate, you may be asking?" Well, that's what I asked my partner. They said, some have alcohol in them? Now, plenty of our other songs had mentionings of alcoholic beverages, so I don't know why they chose to turn it off then. Another time, I didn't quite make it to my show. Why I didn't make it is not important to this story. But since I wasn't there, I decided, let's listen to the show. I got up the show on my computer and start playing it. The show is mid-song, so I wait for the song to end. And of course it's the 5-minute song that's on our list. The song ends, and the first thing I hear, "My partner got a partner?" There was some random person who I had no idea who was, but they were there. It turns out it was just my partner's friend, which is fine. It wasn't like I cared that much. So I finished listening to the show and go on with my day. That's the end of this video, guys. For no other reason than because this video is over and I have nothing more to talk about. Yeah. Anyways, goodbye.